Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning, madam.
Uh, can you please ask others to join? Hello. So can you all write down this question? So today I'm planning to discuss about the progress and performance. So this lesson I will start by doing a question. Right? Can you all hear me? Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yes, madam.
Right. So can you all please write down this question? This lesson I would like to start by doing a question. After discussing this question, I will explain about the theory part. And in this question also, in this lesson also actually, we are wanting to see how our project is progressing, and when the project is progressing, how we are going to measure that performance. So there are several calculations that we have to do when we are measuring the performance. So can you all write down this question? Once you have completed writing down this question, please let me know. Have you all finished? Have you all finished writing down this question? So in this progress and performance measurement and evaluation lesson, you will be given like this question, right? So we actually in project management, we are basically discussing about activities and how these activities are done using, we have drawn project network, and next we have identify how we are going to allocate our resources, how we are going to load our resources. And as the next lesson, we have discussed about how to reduce the project duration, right? So now we are going to learn about when we are doing like this project, how we are going to measure our performance, right? So in measuring our performance, we can use several indicators, right? Uh, so if I get these, there are several terms that you can use, right? So earned value can be calculated, planned value, actual cost, and cost variance, schedule variance, budgeted cost at completion, years, and after that we can calculate cost variance, schedule variance, and then after, is my sound is not clear? Mm. So since in the තවමත් හරියට ඇහෙන්නේ නැද්ද? Oh, okay. So please give me a minute. Hello, can you now hear? Hello, can you all now hear me? Right. So in this question, actually, you have to calculate several calculations, right? So based on that calculation, we can come into some conclusion, right? So these are the actually these are the calculations that you have to do. So I am hoping to discuss these calculation when I'm discussing this question, right? So this is the question. So at the examination also you will be getting like this question. You will be given several activities that that this project is going to be performed, and then the total plan value, how much of total plan value is there. So let's see what is the meaning of plan value. Plan value means the time phase baseline of the value of the work schedule. So they are given several time phase, several timeline, right? So in that timeline, they are mentioning that this much of value we have to complete. An approved cost estimate of the resource schedule in a time phase cumulative baseline or budgeted cost of work schedule. So in this PV means this much of value that after completing activity A, we want to get this value, right? So after completing activity A, we will be getting the planned value of 20, right? So these are actually cost. If I get the summation of this total, can you see the summation of this total is 320, right? So this 320, can you see this cumulative present value by period? So in this table also we are elaborate this how these costs are going to be occurred, right? So if I take this summation of the cumulative of this total plan value, that cumulative need to be equal to at the end of this period, right? So this period is ending at 11, and at the end of these 11, we are getting the budgeted cost at completion or BAC as 320. So if I take the summation of these value as well, can you see the summation is 320, right? So this activity A will be completed in this period and this period, right? So actually in this example, you have to think that so these are time period, right? So these are time period indicating. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of this one? So is this one is the beginning of period one or at the end of period one? මේ එකෙන් කියන්න පුතේ මොකද්ද? At the end of period one ද නැත්නම් beginning of period one ද? Yeah, right, very good. At the end of the period one. So you have to Very good. So you have to remember that, right? So 1 means at the end of period 1 and beginning of period 2, right? So beginning of period 1 means 0, right? So 1 means at the end of period 1 as well as beginning of period 2, right? And they are given how this work is going to be done in this time period, right? So please remember that as well, right? So total plan value by period. So according to this first period, at the end of period 1, the total plan value is 10. And in the second period, the total plan value is again 10. Likewise, I have taken the summation of these plan value for each of these periods, right? Then after I have taken the cumulative plan value by period. That means I have to take the accumulation or the cumulative of this plan value. So according to this first year, or at the end of first year, the cumulative plan value is 10. And for that cumulative plan value, you have to add. If I go for the second year, at the end of second year, it should be the summation of this 10 as well as this 10, as I am taking the cumulative plan value, right? So likewise, you have to take the cumulative at the end of each period, right? And at the end of the project, the total plan value should be equal to this total plan value, right? So this 320, we are call it as budgeted cost at completion. So at the completion stage, this is the budgeted cost we are assuming. At the completion stage, we will how to incur this much of cost. So it is called as BAC, right? And so in this question, basically we are wanting to, so if I make it zoom, can you all visible the question? Huh? මම මේක zoom කරා පොඩ්ඩක් එතකොට question එක පේනව නේද? Right. Thank you. Right. So in this question, we are going to actually see about the status, right? Ending period 1. At the end of the period 1, we are going to see what is the status of our project, right? So at the end of period 1 means you have now identified that at the end of period 1 means this, right? So at the end of period 1, the task or the activity A is completed by 50%, right? So according to this question, they are given that at the end of period 1, the task A is completed by 50%. And you are asking to calculate earned value, and this actual cost you have to assume, right? Yeah, this 50% is given in the question, right? So in the examination paper also, if I asking you to calculate the status report, that 50% or the completion percentage, I will give you, right? So the you have to in this question they are telling that the activity A or the task A at the end of period 1, the 50% completed, right? And the actual cost is also in here. In this question, I am assuming that 10, right? So this 10 is also given for you, right? So these are the given values for you in this question. And you are asking to calculate earned value, planned value, cost variance, and schedule variance, right? So these things you are asking to calculate, right? So how we are going to calculate earned value? Earned value means total plan value into percentage completed, right? So we will see that. Earn value means the percent complete time its original budget. The percent of the original budget that has been earned by actual work completed. The older acronym. It is not clear, right? So earn value means from the total planned value. So can you see that for the activity A, total planned value they have given. So the total planned value for the activity A is 20. From that 20, that is the total planned value for the activity A or a task A, right? From that total planned value, you have to take the percentage that is completed for the activity A. That is 50%, right? So the earned value can be calculated by getting what is the equation now? Very good, 10%. So you have to remember the equation here, right? What is the equation? I will write down in the above, right? So then after you can identify, right? So the earned value can be calculated by getting the total planned value, right? Total planned value means this, right? Total planned value for the activity A, and this should be multiplied by the percentage complete, right? It should be multiplied by the percentage complete. So this is the equation that you have to use when you are calculating the earned value. And so now I'm going to calculate that. So for the activity A, total planned value is 20, and this 20 should be multiplied by the percentage completed. So according to this question, the percentage complete is 50%, right? That means earned value for the activity A or a task A is 10. And you have to assume that the actual cost is given by the question, right? So write down this as assume this, right? And this planned value, the next one is planned value. So what is the planned value? So can you see the status report? In this status report, we are considering about ending period 1, right? So we are considering about what? Ending period 1. So at this ending period 1, what is the planned value? So they are given the total planned value for each of these activity, and they are given how this planned value is going to be occur, right? So in this status report, we want to see at the end of period 1. At the end of period 1 means this, right? So you all of you have told me at the end of period 1 means this is the time period, right? So at the end of period 1, what is the planned value for the activity A or a task A? Huh? At the end of period, first you have to identify where is the place for the at the end of period 1, right? So at the end of period 1, what is the planned value? That should be the answer for this planned value. Very good. The one student is given me the answer. So what about others? So at the end of period 1. So first you have to identify where is the place of at the end of period 1. So I have told you at the end of period 1 means this, right? So at the end of period 1, you have to calculate, you have to see what is the total planned value. So this total planned value is given here, and how this planned value is going to be occur is given in this table, right? This is the way that the planned value is going to occur, right? So this total planned value in here, according to this question, they are asking at the end of period 1, what is the planned value? So at the end of period 1 means this is the place for the activity A at the end of period 1. What is the planned value? It should be 10. ඒක තේරුණාද? දැන් මේ question එකේ අහන්නේ අපිට මේ status report එකේ ending period 1. අපි මුලින්ම අඳුන ගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ending period 1 කියන්නේ කොතනද? දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මට මුලින්ම කිව්වනේ මෙතන තමයි ending period 1 වෙන්නේ. 1 කියලා තියෙන්නේ ending period 1 as well as beginning of second year, right? So ending period 1 means this, right? So at the ending period 1, what is the planned value for the activity A? So in here they are given the total planned value. මෙතන දීලා තියෙන total planned value. And now they are asking at the end of period 1, what is the planned value? So planned value is 10. So did you all get that? Right. So only one student is responding. So why the number of students are only reduced now? Is it due to the assignment? Assignment submission එක හින්දාද අද ළමයි අඩු? So did you all get how to calculate this planned value here? මම මේ අහන්නේ මේ planned value 10 එක ගත්තු එක තේරුණාද කියලා? Right. So the next one is cost variance and schedule variance. In cost variance and schedule variance, you have to take actually cost variance means indicate if the work accomplished using labor and material cost more or less than was planned at any point in the project. In cost variance, we are actually calculating whether our cost is less or more than the planned value, right? That means you have to take the earned value. That is the earned value. So from that earned value, you have to deduct this actual cost. That is the cost variance. දැන් අපි cost variance එකේදී බලන්නේ අපි earned value එකකින් actual cost එක අඩු කරනවා. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ අපි cost variance එකේදී බලන්නේ අපි දැන් earn කරපු value එකට වඩා actually cost එකක් වැඩිපුර දාරලාද නැත්නම් if the actual cost is less than that or more than that the earned value, right? So in cost variance, you have to take cost variance can be calculated by getting earned value. From that earned value, you have to deduct the actual cost, right? So earned value for this status report ending period 1 is 10. From that 10, you have to deduct the actual cost. So the actual cost, I have told you, you have to assume that. So in the examination paper, I might be given you the actual cost, right? So the actual cost is how much? Actual cost is 10 here, right? That means the cost variance is 0. Right, very good. That means there is no any difference between earned value and actual cost. There is no any deviation from the earned value. There is no, we did not incur higher cost, right? Or lesser cost. That is the meaning. දැන් අපි මෙතනදී cost variance එකේදී බලන්නේ අපි cost එකේ මොනවා හරි variance එකක් තියනවද නැද්ද? ඇත්තටම අපි actual cost එකක් 10ක් incur කරලා තියෙනවා. earned value එකක් 10ක් අපි earn කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ there is no any cost variance for this activity A. So the schedule variance means for that schedule variance you have to take what? You have to take the earned value. From that earned value you have to deduct the planned value. So that is the equation for the schedule variance. Schedule variance can be calculated by getting earned value. From that earned value, you have to deduct the planned value, right? So let's see the definition. So schedule variance means presents an overall assessment in dollar terms of the progress of all work packages in the project schedule to date. So in project schedule to date, we are seeing what is there is any schedule variance, right? So actually in this explanation, those are not actually clear for you. That's why I have taken and I have decided to go with the calculation, right? So in schedule variance, schedule variance එකේදී බලන්නේ අපි earned value එකෙන් planned value එක අඩු කරලා බලනවා. එතන schedule එකේ variance එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා. So according to this example, earned value is 10. From that earned value, I have deduct the planned value. So planned value is also 10. That means the schedule value, schedule variance is 0 here, right? So this is the status report for the ending period 1, right? So these are the calculations that you have to do. So this is for the what? This is for the ending period 1. And then after you have to get the cumulative as well. So the cumulative total. I will take the cumulative total here. Cumulative total, right? So in this status report ending period 1, there is only a one task given, but when we are going for the other period, right, if we are going for the third period, likewise you will be getting several tasks. දැන් මෙතනදී පුතේ තියෙන ending period 1 එකේදී නම් activity එක විතරයි මෙතන mention කරලා තියෙන්නේ. හරිද? හැබැයි අපි අනිත් periods වලට යනකොට මේ activities උත් complete වෙලා තියෙන ප්‍රමාණ percentages අපිට එනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම cumulative එක ගන්න. So that's why I'm calculating cumulative here, right? So you have to take the summation. Take the summation. So the taking summation means in here is only one value, right? So likewise, you have to take the summation for all these values, right? So I have taken the summation of all these value, right? So I will now go for the second status report ending period 2. So ending period now 2. Status report ending period 2. So in that ending period 2 also I have to take these figures here. And here also task is only A, right? That task is A is now completed. Can you see at the end of the period 2? This is the ending period 2 here. So at the end of period 2, activity A is now completed, right? So the activity A is going to be completed at the end of period 2. There is no activity A is not going to be done in third, fourth, fifth, right? So the activity A will be completed in the ending period 2. That means the percentage completed is what? It's now finished. That means it is 100% completed. So the activity A or the task A is going to be finished now, right? So actually, it is not easy for writing down all these things at the same time. So better to දැන් මේ ටික තමයි මේ ටික බේස් කරගෙන තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම calculations හදන්නේ. හරිද? ඒකින්ද task එක A percentage complete is going to be finished now, right? So the percentage complete is now going to be finished, and I am asking to calculate the earned value. So what is the earned value for the activity A when the period is 2? So I am mentioning that what is the calculations that you have to do. What is the earned value for the status report ending period 2? You have to take what? You have to take the total planned value. From that total planned value, for the activity A, total planned value is 20, right? Total planned value is 20 for the activity A. So the percentage completed for the activity A is now finished. Is now finished mean it is 100% completed, right? So it should be multiplied by the 100%. That means the earned value is now 20. Right, very good. 20. Right? So Diane is only answering for me. So what about others? Have you understand how to calculate the earned value for the status report ending period 2? What is the earned value for the activity A? තේරුණාද මේ activity A එකේ for the task A එකේ ending period 2 එකට කොහොමද calculate කරන්න කියලා? Right. So the actual cost is I will be given you, and you have to think that you have to assume, right? So actual cost is 30, and the planned value at the end of how I'm asking you to calculate the planned value. Now our status report is ending period 2. So at the end of period 2, what is the planned value? So can anyone tell me what is the planned value for at the end of period 2? So I am discussing about the status report of activity A. So this is the thing, right? So the activity A at the end of period 2, what is the planned value? At the end of period 2, what is the planned value? Is it 10 or 20? At the end of period 2, can you see this 10 is already completed now? So we have get that value already, right? That means at the end of period 2, that value is going to be continued, right? Therefore, it should be 20. This 10 plus 10. So this activity A is going to be completed or the finished at the end of period 2. That means that total value should be taken, right? You have to take the summation of these two, right? So the total planned value should be 20. And the cost variance. So how we are going to calculate the cost variance? You have to take the earned value. From that earned value, deducting the actual cost. So what is the value? Cost variance is 20. Our actual cost is higher than the earned value. That's why it is minus 10, right? Very good. And what is the scheduled value? Scheduled value is earned from earned value. You have to deduct the planned value. So it is how much? 0. Right. So I will now going for the status report of ending period 3. Status report of ending period 3. A is now already finished, right? A is now already finished. I have forgot to get the cumulative. Thank you for remembering. So I have asked you to take what? I have asked you to take the cumulative of all these value at the end. So take this cumulative total. So thank you very much for remembering. So you have to take the cumulative here. Here, only the one value is there, but you have to take the cumulative, right? Okay, so now I will move to the ending period 3. So at the ending period 3, the activity A is already finished, and the activity B is finished from 33%. 33% means how much? It is 1/3 of these activities is finished now for the ending period 3. And the next one is activity C is going to be completed by 20%. And activity D is going to be completed by 60%. So can you see in this ending period 3, you will be given several activities, right? Ending period 3 means this, right? Ending period 3, they have given the activity A now finished. Then the activity A ending period 3 finished වෙලා තියෙනවා. And activity B is completed by 33%. That means 1/3 of this activity B is completed at the end of period 3. And for the C, activity C is going to be completed at the end of period 3. How much? 20%. And for the activity D is going to be completed by 60%. Right? In here also you are asking to calculate earned value, actual cost I will be given for the actual cost. So the actual cost for the activity A is 30, B is 10, and 30 here for the C, and for the D is 20, right? So this actual cost is given for you. And yeah, these percentage values will be given. Yeah, these percentage values will be given for you at the examination. මේ percentage values ටික පුතේ දෙනවා මේ examination එක මම status report එකක් හදන්න කියලා කිව්වා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මම දෙනවා මේ percentage ටික, right? Is it okay now? I will be given you, if I am asking to calculate the status report, I will definitely given you the percentage completed. This percentage values I will give, right? Okay, so can you all calculate this earned value? Earned value means you have to take the total planned value and multiply it by the percentage completed, right? So I think you can calculate these things. So I will do this for you. For activity A, what is the total planned value? Total planned value is 20, right? So this 20, you have to multiply it by as this activity A is finished, it means 100% completed, right? That means our earned value should be 20 here, right? So the earned value is 20 here. And the planned value. So in calculating the planned value, you have to see the status report. Status report is ending period 3, right? So at the ending period 3, what is the planned value for the activity A? ending period 3 එකේදී plan value එක කීයද activity A එකට. So for the activity A, we have already completed, right? So at the end of period 2 also, we have calculated it as 20. So that 20 will be going to be continued. දැන් මේ 20 එක activity A එකේ අපි second period එකේදී ගත්තනේ 20 කියලා. You have to take the summation of these two. Right, at the end of period 2 means you have to take the summation of these two. And that summation of these two will going to be continue for each and every year. Each and every at the end of the period, right? That means at the end of period 3, the planned value for the activity A is how much? Planned value එක කීයද activity A එකට? It should be 20. දැන් මේ අපි මෙතන at the end of period 2 එකේදී අපි ගත්ත plan value එක 20 කියලා. You have to take actually the cumulative here, right? So I am not asking you to take the cumulative because this cumulative is going to be get the summation. Right, very good. It's 20. දැන් මම මෙතන මේ cumulative of planned value by period කියන එක ගන්නයි කියලා කියන්න නැත්තේ පුතේ මෙතනදී තියෙනවනේ හැම activity එකම දැන් මෙතන ගන්න cumulative කියලා මේ හැම activity එකේම summation එක ගත්ත එක තමයි cumulative වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒකින තමයි මම මේ cumulatives ගන්නයි කියලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට encourage කරන්නේ නැත්තේ ඒක ගත්තොත් වැරදි. right? දැන් අපි at the end of period 2 එකේදී අපි activity A එකේ planned value එක ගත්ත කීයද? 20 කියලා. හරිද? ඒ 20 එක අපි at the end of period 3 වලදී අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ 20 එක තියෙනවා. Right? So the planned value for activity A is 20 now. And this 20 is going to be continue for each and every ending period because we have already get that planned value. And the cost variance. From the earned value, you have to deduct the actual cost, that is minus 10. So the schedule variance is from the earned value, you have to deduct the planned value. It is 0, right? So likewise, can you calculate this for the B? Can you tell me what is the earned value? Planned value, cost variance, and the schedule variance for the activity. I will do this for you and I will be asking you to calculate for C and D both, right? මම මේ B activity එක එකත් calculate කරලා පෙන්නනවා. ඊට පස්සේ C and D ඔයගොල්ලෝ calculate කරලා මට කියන්න. හරිද? For the activity B, it's going to be completed 33%. 33% completed means what? It is actually 1/3. 33% complete කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? 1/3 complete කියන එක. හරිද? එහෙනම් අපි මුලින් බලන්න ඕනේ activity B එකේ total planned value is 15, right? So that from that 15 you have to take the percentage completed. The percentage completed is 33%. Actually 33% means what? 1/3. Right? That means our earned value is going to be 5. Right? And then may make it 33% ගත්තොත් පුතේ 33.33 විදියට යන්නේ. එතකොට අපිට හරියටම value එකක් ගන්න බෑ. Actually the 33% means what? 1/3. 1/3, right? That's why I have taken 1/3. දැන් මම 33% එක ගත්තොත් හරියටම එන්නේ නැහැනේ. So if I take this 33 and දැන් මම 33% එක ගත්තොත් පුතේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනව නේද? It is not going to I am unable to take, it is for the one decimal, right? For a single decimal. Actually the 33% means it is 1/3. So I take the 1/3 here. Right? So the planned value for the ending period 3 for the activity B. For the activity B, what is the planned value? for the ending period tree. දැන් මේ status report එක දුන්න ගමන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ plan values එක හොයන්න කියලා කිව්වම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම බලන්න period එක මොකක්ද? Ending period tree. Ending period tree means this, right? Ending period tree means this is, right? So this ending period tree, you have to see what is the plan value for the activity B. So the activity B is begin here, right? So what is the planned value for the activity B at the ending period tree? Hi. දැන් මෙතනදී plan value එක ගන්න කියලා කිව්වම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම you have to see what is the period. So the ending period tree means this, right? At the ending period tree, I am asking you that for the activity B, right? So the activity B means this. So at the ending period tree, for the activity B, what is the plan value? It should be B. It should be 5. ඒක තේරුණාද? And the next one is cost variance, right? So the cost variance means you have to take the earned value. From that earned value, deducting the actual cost. So the actual cost is 10. So the cost variance is -5. That means we have already incurred more than the actual cost is higher than the earned value. That is why the cost variance is minus here. And the schedule variance means from the earned value, you have to deduct the planned value, that is 0, right? So I will do for the activity C as well. So is it now clear for you how to calculate these things? For the activity C, now I'm going to calculate the earned value, right? So in calculating earned value, first you have to take the total planned value for the activity C. So the total planned value for the activity C is 100. From that 100, you have to take the percentage completed. So at the ending period tree, percentage complete for the activity C is 20%, right? So that means 100 multiplied by the 20% means earned value for the activity C is 20, right? So the actual cost is given and the planned value. So now we are in the ending period tree. So at the ending period tree, what is the value or what is the planned value for the activity C? What is the plan? So this is the ending period tree. So in this ending period tree, what is the planned value for the C? Very good. It should be 20, right? So it should be 20 here. And the cost variance, you have to take the earned value. From that earned value, deduct the actual cost. So the actual cost is also higher. It is higher, -10. Right, very good, -10. And the schedule variance is from the earned value, you have to deduct the planned value. So it is 0 here. And now I'm going to do for the activity D. So the activity D is very good. So the activity D is completed 60%. So in calculating the expected value, earned value, you have to take the total planned value. From that total planned value, take the percentage completed. That means 21, right? Right, very good. And the actual cost is given, and at the end of what? At the end of period 3, we have to see what is the planned value for the D activity. So at the end of period 3 means this. For the D activity, what is the planned value? It is 15. Very good. So it should be 15 here. And the cost variance is earned value minus actual cost. It should be plus 1. So we have actually less than the earned value. The actual cost is less than 1. Right? It is good. And the schedule variance. What is the schedule variance? From the earned value, you have to deduct the planned value. It is 6. And then after you have to take the cumulative total here, right? So in getting the cumulative total, you have to take the summation of all these things. It is 66 and take the summation of all these values here. 66, 90, 60 and minus 24 and plus 6. Right. So in the cost variance, we are getting the earned value. From the earned value, we are deducting the actual cost, right? So after getting the earned value is 66. From 66, you have to deduct the actual cost of 90. So what is the value you are getting? Check whether you are getting this minus 24. Then අපි මෙතන cost variance එකේදී මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? Earned value එකෙන් actual cost එක අඩු කරනවා. එතකොට actual cost එක අඩු කරලා තමයි අපි එකිනෙක calculate කරේ cost variance. දැන් මෙතන cumulative එක ගත්තම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම it should be equal to getting the cumulative of earned value minus cumulative of actual cost. So after deducting that value, can you see whether you are getting the similar values? Minus 24, right? So the cumulative value should be equal to getting the difference between earned value and actual cost. Then අපි මෙතනදී cost variance එකේදී කරන්නේ earned value එකකින් actual cost එක අඩු කරලා ගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ එතන cumulative එක ගත්තම minus 24 ආවා. එතකොට අපි මේ cumulatives වලත් අපි difference එක බැලුවම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම minus 24 එන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේ minus 24 එක ආව නේද? Right, so in here the schedule variance I have to take. If I take it in cumulative total 66, from 66 the planned value is 60. 66 minus 60, the schedule variance is going to be 6. Right? Hope you have understand this up to this point. Right? So I will move for the status report ending period 3. It should be ending period 4 now, right? So this in at the ending period 4, activity A is now is actually finished, already finished. Right, so the B activity is also going to be finished here. And for the C activity, it is going to be 50% completed. And for the D activity, it is 80% completed. And the actual cost will be given for you. Actual cost is 30, 20, 70, and 30. Can you all calculate this for me? Now, for the ending period 4. දැන් මේක මට තේරුණාද කියලා කියන්න මුලින් මේ calculations කරන විදිහ. Right. So at the ending period 1, sorry, at the ending then ending period 4 එකට ආවම දැන් මේ දීලා තියෙන schedule එකට අනුව can you see the activity A is now already finished right here at ending period 4 means I am here now, right? So the activity A is already completed when I am here for the ending period 4. And when I am here for the ending period 4, can you see the B activity is also now going to complete. That's why for the activity A and for the activity B, the percentage complete is now finished. ඒක තේරුණාද දැන්? A and B විතරක් finished කියලා ගන්නයි කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මෙතන මම ඉන්නේ ending period 4 එකේ. Right? So මම මෙතන ending period 4 එකේ ඉන්නවා කියන්නේ activity A එක දැන් අපි දැනටම complete කරලා ඉවරයි. So it should be finished now. Right? So activity B, if I take the activity B, so as I am in the ending period 4 here, for the activity B is now already completed, right? That's why I'm telling that. That's why I have indicated here for the activity A and for the activity B, the status of completion is now finished. But for the activity C and activity D, it is 50% completed and 80% completed, right? So your name is not mentioned. So did you get that point now? Huh? Right. So so can we calculate? Can you all calculate for the earned value? So in calculating earned value, you have to take the total plan value. From that total plan value for the activity A, it is 100% completed, right? Finish mean 100% completed. So I will calculate all this plan value for each and every, right? Very I will calculate first the earned value, right? So the earned value for the activity B is plan value, total plan value multiplied by the 100% completed, that is 50. For the C, you have to take the total plan value. From that total plan value, 50%. So I can directly take it from here now. No? 50% complete. That means for the activity C, it is 100%. Right, very good. So it should be 50 here, right? For the activity B, it is 80% completed. So I have to take the total plan value. From that total plan value, I have to take the percentage completed. That means it is 28. Right. Thank you very much for sending the answers. So now I'm going to calculate what? Now I'm going to calculate the planned value. So planned value. What is the planned value now I'm going to calculate? For the ending period 4, what is the planned value? So ending period 4 means this. For the ending period 4, what is the planned value for the activity A? It should be 20, right? It should be 20 here. And for the activity B, ending period 4, activity B, ending period 4, what is the planned value? Right, very good. It should be 50, right? It should be 50. So at the ending period 4, The planned value means you have to take the summation of these two, that is 15 here. And for the C activity, this, right? So for the ending period 4, what is the planned value for the C activity? It should be what? It should be very good. Rikshika and Kavindu telling that it should be 50. You have to take the summation of these two. It should be 50. For the activity D, at the ending period 4, for the activity D, you have to take the summation of these two. It is 25. Very good. It is 25. Now the cost variance. So the cost variance, you have to take the earned value. From that earned value, deducting the actual cost. So it is minus 10 here. I will take the sum. I will drag and drop, right? So the schedule variance from the earned value, deduct the planned value. And here now I am taking the cumulative total, right? Right. So as I'm doing using the Excel, it is easier for me to just put the thing that I have to do. But I know you have to calculate it using using the calculator. So it will take some time for you, right? So once you have completed this, please let me know. You have finished, right? Dan said he is finished. I will go for the ending period 5, right? So the next one is status report of ending period 5. Right. So for the ending period 5, the same activities are there. Same activities are there. The finished is same here. And now it is 60%. And for the D, it's 80% now, right? So you can calculate the values now, right? So 50% finished means getting the total planned value. So I'm calculating, right? I think now it is clear for you how to calculate all these figures. So please calculate these things with me, right? So for the C activity, total planned value is 100. From that 100, you have to take the 60%. For the D activity, planned value is 35. Getting the percentage complete, it is D 100% වෙන්නේ නැද්ද? නෑ. මේකේ දැන් අපි කියන්නේ D එක 100% වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන අපි හිතනවා මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි plan එක යන්නේ කියලා අපි හිතනවා. plan කරපු විදිහට සිදු වුණොත් අපි මේ විදිහට තමයි වෙන්නේ කියලා හිතනවා. හැබැයි when I'm actually doing, so actually these are budgeted, or when we are forecasting, these values are given for you as we are forecasting or budgeting, right? So if I according to the Diane question, For the D activity, it should be 100% completed at the end of period 5. But when it is actually happening, right? When it is actually happening, the finished percentage is 80%. මේකට අනුව නම් D එක දැන් මේවා බජට් කරලා තමයි අපි මේ report එක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. දීපු report එක. හැබැයි actually මේවා වෙනකොට D activity එක ඇත්තටම ending period 5 වෙනකොට complete වෙලා තියෙන්නේ 80%. That can be different, right? මේවා හදලා තියෙන්නේ budget කරපු විදිහට. හැබැයි actually මේ status එක අපේ වෙනකොට actual වෙන දේ වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වෙනස තමයි මෙතනින් indicate වෙන්නේ. Right? Very good for asking like this question because you are with the lesson, right? So very good. So I have calculated the plan value, right? So next calculate what? Actual cost. I have to give. It should be 30, 20, 100 here. Oh, 30, no? So it should be 50. Right. So what is now we are going to calculate what is that? So we have calculate earned value and planned value. So planned value at the ending period 5. At the ending period 5 means this. Planned value for the activity A, it should be 20. And for the planned value for the B activity, it should be 15. And for the C activity, planned value, what is the planned value for the ending period 5? And for the D activity, planned value for the ending period 5. It should be 35. Right, 35. So the next one is cost variance. Cost variance means you have to take the earned value from that earned value, deducting the actual cost. Schedule variance means from the earned value, deducting the planned value. See whether you are getting the similar answers, right? When you are calculating with the calculators. So this is for the ending period 5 status report. This is for the ending period. So see whether you are getting the similar answers up to this point and let me know. The complete percentage for the C and D is given for you. දැන් මේ activity C and D එකේ මේ percentage එක ගැන නේද අහන්නේ? මේ ටිකනේ. මේ percentage complete එක පුතේ දෙනවා question එක, right? අර කෙනෙක් අහුවේ මේ C එක D එක ඉවරයි කියලා නේද? D activity එක 100% complete වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා තමයි යා question එක ඇහුවේ. හරිද? At the end of period 5, the one of the student have asked it should be 100% complete. Right? දැන් මේක 100% complete වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මෙතන අපිට දීපු මේ budget එක. Right? හැබැයි අපි මේක actually කරන්න ගියාම when we are doing this project, when we are actually engaging with this project, the percentage completed can be different from our budget or the plan, right? We are planning to complete these things, but actually we are not going to get that percentage completed, right? Then අපි D activity එක 100% complete වෙනවා කියලා assume කරලා budget එක හැදුවා අපි මේ විදිහට වෙනවා කියලා. හැබැයි අපි ඇත්තටම actually මේ projects කරන්න ගියාම ඒ percentage complete එක වෙන්නේ නැහැ. right? ඒක හින්දා තමයි අපි මේ ending period 5 එකේදී D එක finish නොවුනේ. It is still 80% completed, right? And this percentage completed, you do not want to worry about percentage completed, because at the examination I will be given you this much of percentage is completed, and then I am asking you to calculate what? Then I am asking you to calculate this value, right? Then my percentage completed වෙච්ච එක ගැන worry වෙන්න එපා. Right? So it will be given for you, right? Right, I think it is okay for the Manisha. Right, for the ending period 6, let's calculate, no? So I think it is clear for you. So you have to take the total plan value. From that total plan value, it is 100% completed. For the D activity also, it is 100% completed. For the C activity, it is 80% completed, right? Still the C activity is 80% completed. So the D activity is now finished. So the actual cost will be given for you. 30 here, 20 here, 110 here, and 60 here. And now the plan value for the activity ending period 6, the plan value. Ending period 6 means this. Plan value for the activity A is 20, it should be 20. And for the B plan value is 50. Right? For the C plan value is how much? For the C plan value is how much? Getting the summation here, right? Plan value එක මොකද්ද C එකට at the end of period 6? Very good. It should be 100. Then අපේ ending period 6 කියන්නේ මෙතෙන්ද. එතකොට C activity එකට plan value එක 100 වෙනවා. Right. Very good. The plan value is 100 here, right? For the D activity ending period 6, for the D activity ending period 6 is this. That means you have to take the summation of these three values. It is 35. And then get the cost variance. Earned value minus actual cost. Earned value minus plan value schedule variance. getting the summation of these values now. So can you all calculate this for the ending period 7 as well? So get in the values. So the C activity, still the C activity is 90% completed, right? D activity is already completed now. It is 100% complete. For the E activity, it is 0% complete, means 0, right? So the actual cost, 30 here, 20 here, 120 here, 60 and 0 and 0, right? Plan value for the ending period 7. Plan value for the ending period 7. For the activity A, it should be 20. For the activity B, ending period 7, it should be 15 plan value. And for the C, ending period 7, the summation of these, that. For the D, ending period 7. For the D, ending period 7, the plan value is how much? Should be 35. For the E, ending period 7. For the E, ending period 7, what is the plan value? It is 30. For the F, ending period 7, what is the plan value? There is no any plan value for the 7th, ending period 7 for the effective. That means it should be 0. Right. So take the cost variance now. Then take the schedule variance. And take the cumulative totals here. So once you have completed up to this point, please let me know. Right. So we will see what are the indication of these values after calculating those things, right? So if I take this cost variance, the cost variance is how much? Minus 70, right? That means we have spent more than that we are expecting to, right? Then cost variance is minus 70, right? That means we have spent more. That means cost overrun. Actually, we are wanting to spend. The actual cost is more than we are expecting to spend. That's why this cost variance is minus 70. So the indication of these minus 70 is cost overrun. We have spent more, right? So if we see this activity A, actually the cost variance is minus 10. That means they have spent, or these project managers have spent more than we have earned. More than we have earned, these project managers are actually spent minus 10, right? But for the activity E and F, for the activity E and F, the cost variance is 0, right? Cost variance is 0, right? Cost variance is 0 means we are not still earned anything, and we are not still spend any rupees or any cent. දැන් මේ activity E සහ F එක අපි දැනටම start කරලා නැහැ. ඒකෙන් තමයි 0% complete, right? Still they are not earned anything because we are not still starting to do the activity E and F, and we are not going to spend. We are not still spend any cent of our values, right? And if we take this schedule variance, the schedule variance for the activity A is the schedule variance is 0. That means we are on the schedule, right? If I take this activity C, it is minus 10. That means we are behind the schedule. We are not aligned with the schedule. We are not on the schedule. We are behind the schedule, right? So the cumulative total of schedule variance is minus 40. So the minus 40 is indicating that we are behind the schedule. The schedule variance is negative. That means we are behind our schedule. Right? So if I take this activity E, activity E is minus 30. Right? That means behind the schedule. We cannot start this E activity before before finishing other activity B, C, D. So due to this delay that is occurring for the B, C, D activity, the activity E is also become behind schedule. දැන් මේ activity B, C, D. දැන් අපි E activity එක ගත්තොත් for to start this E activity, we have to complete all this B B, C, and D activity, right? But still, our C activity is not completed. The C activity is completed up to 90%, right? So in order to start E activity, we have to complete all these B, C, D, 3 activities. But our C activities is still completed up to 90%. That means it is not completed yet. Due to this delay which is happening from other activity, the activity E is still not going to start, right? අපි මේ activity C එක start වත් කරලා නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට අර activity BCD කියන තුන complete කරන්න ඕනේ මේ activity E එක start කරන්න, right? So due to this scheduling behind of this C activity, this will directly impact for the E activity as well, right? දැන් අපි මේ E activity එක තාම පටන් අරගෙනවත් නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට ඒක behind the schedule වෙනවා. මොකද අපි මේ BCD කියන activities තුනම complete වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ E activity එක පටන් ගන්න. හැබැයි still the C activity is 90% completed. Right, so the one student is asking activity C finish when and at the period 7. Activity C is not going to finish. කලින් කියෝකේ මේක මේ දාලා තියෙන්නේ budget කරන ඒවල values, right? මේවා තමයි අපි budget කරලා හිතන්නේ මේ විදිහට වේවි කියලා. හැබැයි when it is happening at the actual scenario, that can be different, right? So if I in the ending period 7, you are asking the C activity must be completed. These are given for you as budget, right? But when we are actually doing that activity, it is not actually completed 100%. That's why I am telling it as 90% completed. But if I take in දැන් මේ එක ස්ටුඩන්ට් කෙනෙක් අහලා තියෙනවා ඇයි activity C එක finished වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ කියලා C activity එක. So can you now hear me? Activity C 7 එකේදී 7 period එකේදී අය අහනවා activity C එක complete වෙලා නැත්තේ. මම ඔයගලන්ට කලිනුත් කිව්වා මේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ budget කරන ඒවා. හරිද? budget එකේදී අපි හිතනවා මෙන්න මේ විදිහට මේව complete වෙයි. We are assuming that according to our budget these figures will going to be occur, right? But when we are doing this project in actual scenario, this activity C cannot be completed when we are coming for the 7th period. That's why for the activity Z, it is 90% completed, right? දැන් අපි මේක මේ දීලා තියෙන පුතේ budget කරලා. හැබැයි අපි ඇත්තටම මේ activities අපි engage වෙනකොට activities කරනකොට මේ budget එක හැම වෙලාවෙම achieve කරන්නේ නැහැනේ. ඒකින්ද තමයි activity C එක 90% complete කියලා දෙන්නේ. හැබැයි when you are getting your planned value, when you are getting your planned value for the ending period 7, these are given for the planned value. දැන් අපිට planned value එක ගන්නකොට අපි 7 period එක ගන්නකොට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මෙතෙන්ට තියෙන planned values ටික ගන්නවා. දැන් තේරුණාද? Your name, what is your name? Chandima. Right. So we have now calculated for the ending period 7 as well. And I have explained you what is the indications that we can get after calculating all these things, right? So according to the cost variance, we are cost overrunning. That means we have spent more than that we have planned to spend. And the schedule variance is also -40. That means we are behind the schedule. So if it is 0 means we are on the schedule, but if it is become minus means behind the schedule, right? Right. So I will not going to do for the ending period 8, 9, likewise, I will stop at this point, right? So the next one is I'm going to calculate some indexes, right? The first index that I want to calculate is cost performance index, CPI. So the cost performance index that you can calculate it using what? So in cost performance index, we are calculating, measuring the cost efficiency of work accomplished today. To the date, what is the cost efficiency, right? So in calculating cost performance index, you have to take the expected value, earned value. You have to take the earned value and divided it by the actual cost. For the date of accomplishing the date, how much of cost efficiency is having, right? So this is the thing that you have to take, right? Earned value divided it by the actual cost, right? So now I'm going to calculate cost performance index, CPI. So in calculating CPI, first you have to take the earned value. That earned value have to divide it by the actual cost, right? So if I take this ending period 7, I am calculating this performance indications for the ending period 7, right? So what is the earned value for the ending period 7? Earned value is this, right? 160. So earned value divided by actual cost. Actual cost is 230. So what is the value? CPI. CPI is 0.70. So if I take it for the 3 decimal, it is 0.696. So if I take the for the 2 decimal places, it is 0.70 if I take it for the 2 decimal. So I am going to round it up for the, first you have to round it up for the 3 decimal and then after get it for the 2 decimal, right? So what is the meaning of this CPI, cost performance index? We spent 1 rupee, we earned only 0.696. So we are spending 1 rupee, but actually we are earning what? We are earning only 0.696, right? So actually in this cost performance index, it is measuring the efficiency of work accomplished to date at the 7 day, right? So in cost performance index, measure the cost efficiency of work accomplished today, right? This cost performance index I have calculated for the ending period 7. So at the ending period 7 at the ending period 7 day, we are measuring our efficiency, the work accomplished, measuring the efficiency, right? So for every rupee that we are going to spend, we are actually earning what? We are actually earning 0.70. දැන් අපි spend කරන හැම රුපියලකටම අපි earn කරලා තියෙන්නේ කීයද? 0.70. So for every rupee that we are spending, we earned only 70 cents. For the every rupee that we have spent, we have earned only 70 cents. So did you get the idea of cost performance index? So after calculating these indexes, you should be able to interpret those ratios as well. So the interpretation part I have told you. For the every rupee that we have spent, we have earned only 70 cents. So for the every rupee that we have spent, we have earned only 70 cents. So did you get that point? Right. So I will now go in for the Schedule Performance Index, SPI. So the Schedule Performance Index, SPI, measure scheduling efficiency, right? It is measuring the scheduling efficiency. You have to take, give me a minute. Sorry for the disruption. So the Schedule Performance Index means measure scheduling efficiency. We are going to measure the scheduling efficiency. Cost variance එක negative value කියන්නේ actual cost එක budget එකට. දැන් අපි cumulative එකේදී අපි ගන්නෙ cost variance එකනේ මෙතන. ඒකෙදී දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් earn value එකෙන් actual cost එක අඩු කරලා actual cost එක වැඩි earn value එකට වඩා. That is the cost variance, right? ඒක නේද හොවේ? අපේ earned value එකට වඩා actual cost එක වැඩි. එතකොට තමයි cost variance එක negative වුනේ. Right? So the next one is Schedule Performance Index, right? So the Schedule Performance Index calculation, you have to take earned value. From that earned value, you have to divide it by the planned value, right? So the earned value, what is the earned value for the at the end of then අපි මේ ඔක්කොම calculations කරන්න පුතේ 7th period එක ending period එක විදියට අරන්. හරිද? එතකොට schedule performance index එක 7 period එකේ earned value එක කීයද? What is the earned value? The earned value is 160 divided it by the planned value. So the planned value is what? 200. So what is the value we are getting? 0.8. That means, what is the explanation that you can give? If we schedule 1 rupee worth of work, we completed only 0.8 worth of work. The schedule performance index can indicate when if we are scheduling 1 rupee worth of work, we completed only 0.8 rupee worth of work. So that is the explanation for the schedule performance index. දැන් අපි schedule කරනවා 1 rupee එකක worth එකක් තියෙන work එකක් complete කරන්න. හැබැයි at the end of ending period 7, we are able to complete only 0.8 worth of work. So we are scheduling to complete 1 rupee worth of work, but we are completing only 0.8 worth of work. So that is the explanation for the schedule performance index, right? So the next one I want to calculate is PCIB. PCIB means percent complete index, right? PCIB can be calculated by getting what? You have to get earned value. That earned value have to be divided by BAC, right? So the earned value is how much? It is 160. BAC, we have now know BAC is budgeted cost at completion. It is 320. So our PCIB is 0.5. අපි දැන් BAC කියන මොකද අපි budgeted කරපු පිරිවැය, right? So the budgeted දැන් අපි actually අපි තියෙන්නේ කීයද? earn කරලා තියෙන්නේ 0.5. අපි අයවැයගත කරපු පිරිවැයෙන් ඇත්තටම අපි earn කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම අපි උපයලා තියෙන්නේ 50%. So from the budgeted cost that we have estimated, but actually we have earned only 50% out of that. So that is the indication for the PCIB, right? So the next one is PCIC. PCIC. So the PCIC can be calculated by getting AC, actual cost, divided by EAC, right? So we know the actual cost, but you are not know about the EAC. EAC has to be calculated by getting what? Actual cost to date. Actual cost to date, and for that actual cost to date you have to add estimated cost for the remaining work. Estimated cost for the remaining work. Actually this is estimated, right? So actual cost to date for the ending period 7, this is the actual cost, right? So actual cost column is here. So the actual cost to date for the ending period 7 is 230. For that 230, you have to add the estimated cost for the remaining work, right? So the estimated cost for the remaining work, I will assume it as the, so actually this activity has to be completed at the end of 11, right? At the end of 11 period, you have to complete that activity, right? For the remaining work, estimated cost, I have assumed it as 207, right? දැන් මේකෙදී මොකද වෙන්නේ? actual cost to date එක ගත්තා. actual cost to date එක මෙතනින් තියෙන actual cost එක අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ඔයාලට ගන්න වෙනවා, right? From that actual cost to date, you have to add the estimated cost for the remaining work. So we are having remaining works to be done. For that remaining work, we are actually having 4 days remaining. For that 4 days remaining, I am assuming that this much of cost, 270 cost, is going to be incurred, right? So at the 7th date, the actual cost is 230, and for the remaining work that I am going to do, I am assuming that it will take 270. That means EAC is going to be 500, and PCIC can be calculated by getting actual cost. Actual cost is 230 and divided that by the EAC. So what is the indication? 0.56. That means from the 500%, actually we are going to spend 500, right? 500 rupees we are going to spend for this project. But from that 500, we are actually now 0.46 or 46% is completed. 46% actually expend from this 500. Then අපි EAC එක calculate කරා 500. Actual cost to date එකට තව remain වෙන time එකට යන cost එක එකතු කරලා EAC එක calculate කරා. يعني totally අපි හිතනවා මෙච්චර cost එකක් වැය වෙවි කියලා. එතකොට මේ cost එක මේ totally වැය වෙන cost එකකින් ඒ කියන්නේ PCIC කියන්නේ actually වැය වෙන cost එකෙන් අපි 46% already we have now expend. මේ 500න් ඇත්තටම අපි 46% expend කරලා තියෙනවා. Right? So this is right. So it is now 9:30 past 2. So I will stop for the today's for this point. So I have to calculate several indexes or the measurements for this, right? So we will do it in next Wednesday, right? So thank you very much for participating.